pan. No, not that pan. This isn't a panto. There's no fairy Tinkerbell here. I am the original Pan, a god from ancient Greece. And that's where we are now, in a village not far from Athens. I'm very fond of this place, for they keep a shrine to me here. It's right over there, where I've just come from. A sacred place, well known. Finally, you may have heard of it. Well, if you haven't, you're just ignorant. What? No need to be abusive. I'm a god, remember? Anyway, we're in Fife, where the inhabitants farm for a living, like those who live in these houses on either side of my shrine. It's tough work for them, for the ground is stony hereabouts. The house on my right belongs to Menander, very much a recluse. He insults everyone and shuns them. He's an old man now, but he was much the same when he was younger. I'm not the only one he treats with any kind of courtesy. He can't avoid it. I'm his neighbour, and I'm a deity, and it's best to treat us with respect. Even so, I get the feeling he'd rather say something rude to me instead. Life is extraordinary, and fiction even more so, and even a divine being, such as myself, must admit to the unexpectedness of it all. You see, despite everything, the man got married. Incredible! The lucky woman was a widow whose husband had recently died. Perhaps she was desperate, but it was a terrible mistake. Menander and she were constantly at loggerheads, day and night, which makes it all the more surprising that they had a child, a daughter. I suppose that is surprising. Perhaps one should keep an open mind on matters such as these. Anyway, things went from bad to worse. Nothing was going to alter that. It was a wretched life. And Menander's wife moved out and went to live with the son from her previous marriage. At this point, credulity really gets stretched to the limit. Let me explain. You see, the house on my left is where they live. Rather too close for comfort, I would have thought. I also find it difficult to understand how Menander's wife could leave her little daughter behind, so the girl was raised by the hateful Menander. But far be it from me to question such minutiae of plot construction. To continue, her son, an upright young man by the name of Gorgeous, has a farm alongside that of his stepfather. It yields just about enough to support his mother, one old retainer, and himself. And that's with all of them working every hour of the day. Meanwhile, Menander lives with just his daughter and the girl's old nurse. He never stops working, wants to do everything himself, even the heavy chores that would be better given to a younger man. But he loathes other people, so won't employ anyone else. But what about the girl, you're wondering? How did she turn out? She's a beautiful young woman now, and with the sort of upbringing she's had, you're thinking she's bound to be sweet and innocent. Well, she is, but in this version of the play, perhaps not in quite the way you might expect. But she's very attentive to the nymphs who share this shrine. Actually, they're nuns with some rather strange habits, but they're very fond of the girl, as am I, and so we try and care for her. Where there is a beautiful young woman, there should be a handsome young man. I'm sure you'd agree. There is, and he's rich, which is also to be expected. His father, a substantial landowner, has a farm fairly close by. Sostratus, the young man, however, lives in town and is one of the fashionable set. He was here the other day on a hunting trip with a friend. The pair of them seemed to think they were engaged in some kind of sport. The animals beg to differ. Be that as it may, I cast a spell on him. But don't ask me why. I'm a god. I was bored. I have my purposes. The point is, he is now desperately in love. Now, as usual in these plays, it's the men who get to do most of the talking. But now I think you'll find that when the women do get a chance to speak, what they have to say is of great pith and moment. Enough for now. You'll find out more as we go along. That is, if you decide to stay. I hope you do. Oh, there's Stratus now with his friend. A shallow hanger-on, the society rightly calls a social parasite. His name is Charius. I wonder if you can guess what they're talking about.
Stench of rotting manure in these rural settings is ghastly. But give me a wholesome city air any day.
I would brave the Augean stables just for another sight of her lovely face.
So you came past here the other day, saw a girl visiting that shrine over there. A girl from a respectable family. And you fell in love. Just like that.
That was how it was.
You're not one to lose any time. Why'd you plan to go out and fall in love at first sight?
There is no need to ridicule me. I feel just awful.
I'm sure you do.
And that's why I'm involving you. I thought you might understand my problem. And, well, you are rather good at arranging.
I am. If a friend falls for some whore, I'm on the case instantly. I seize her, carry her away, go to any lengths, don't get drunk, burn down doors, refuse to listen to reason. Do whatever it takes. I don't even bother to find out her name. The main thing is to secure her, and so provide instant relief to desire before it builds into a dangerous passion. If, on the other hand, we're talking about marriage to a nice girl, then I become a wholly different operator. I investigate her background, family status, financial resources, character, all very thorough, leaving no doubt of my efficiency and professionalism.
Bravo! No use to me at all.
And this is the house where she lives. Oh, that's a bit horrible, isn't it? Well, these people are hardly of our own social sphere.
I sent my man over here this morning at the crack of dawn. You know Pyrrhus, my huntsman,
Whatever for?
or to speak to the girl's father, or to whoever is head of the household.
Oh, God! Are you mad?
Not my best idea, I admit. Sending a servant to propose for me, not quite the done thing. That's the problem with being in love. Your brain seizes up.
Oh, so, what news did Pyrrhus have to report,
I haven't seen him. I told him to return home immediately after he found out how things stood. But he was away for ages, and in the end, I thought that I'd...
Get away! Let me through! He's crazy and he's chasing me!
What? Pyrrhus?
You need to run!
Why?
Missiles being thrown at me! Clods of earth! Stones! Oh, I'm exhausted!
Thrown at you? Now where are you off to?
explanation wouldn't come amiss.
Can we please go somewhere else first?
Where exactly?
As far as we can get from this front door. The man who lives here, the one you sent me to call on, is a dangerous maniac. Oh, my poor feet. Practically every toe broken.
Heavens above, is the fellow drunk?
Obviously.
If only I was. I'm all done in. But watch out, Leslie! Oh, it's difficult to speak. I'm so exhausted. I'll tell you what happened. I knocked on the door and asked to speak to the owner, as you'd instructed. Some decrepit old servant woman answered, and she came out to the place where I'm standing now, talking to you. She pointed to that hill, because that's where he was, gathering wild pears, just ripe for the quarrel.
Well, this fellow of yours does seem a bit upset.
Eh?
Just get on with it.
Well, I went into his field and approached him. I called out to him. He was still some distance away. I was very careful to be very polite. Sir, says I, it's a business matter that brings me to see you, something that would be advantageous to you. He turns around immediately and says, "Damn you for an infidel, trespassing on my land, and what are you up to?" Then he scoops up a lump of earth and hurls it straight into my face.
Oh, Lord!
I had my eyes closed on account of the mud, and I was swearing at him a bit too, when he picks up a stick and starts laying into me. "Business between you and me," he says. "I'll give you business. Ever thought of using the public highway?" He was shouting all this at the top of his voice.
This farmer sounds completely insane.
So then I ran, but he came after me. Round the ridge, through the woods. All this time he was pelting me with stones and rocks, and after he'd done with that, he threw the pears he'd been collecting. Oh, he's wild. A geriatric madman. Oh, please, can't we just get out of here?
Stop being such a coward.
Oh, you don't understand. We're in deep trouble if we stay here. We'll be devoured alive.
We might choose a better time for our visit. Preferably when the old man has calmed down a bit. In any transaction, it's always best to employ tact and discretion.
Now you're talking sense.
Your poor farmer, not just this one, but speaking in more general terms, your impoverished farmer is a temperamental breed. I'll come back first thing tomorrow on my own. Meanwhile, you head back home and leave it to me. It'll all work out for the best. You'll see.
He's got the right idea.
Leave it all to him? I don't think so. It's been obvious all along he wants nothing to do with it. Didn't want to come with me in the first place. Dislikes the idea of me getting married. He was just looking for an excuse to leave. And as for you, you wretch, damn you to perdition.
What have I done now?
Damaged his property. Stole something, I dare say.
I didn't. Honestly.
You expect me to believe he thrashed you when you hadn't done anything to deserve it?
Yes, as I keep telling you. Uh-oh. He's coming now. I'll leave you to talk to him.
No, I mean, I'm useless. Can't convince anyone. Where's the old man now? Doesn't appear friendly. Gods no. He seems pretty determined too. It might be an idea not to stand quite so close to his front door. That's better. He's shouting, but there's no one with him.
complete loony. I'm scared. I don't mind saying so.
Oh! Perseus had all the luck. First, he had wings, so he was able to fly, which meant he could avoid contact with anyone else. Second, he had a gadget for dealing with people that irritated them. Turn them into stone. If only I could have one of those, there'd be a lot of statues around this place. Life! What's the use? There are people invading my property, creeping around all over it, and even having the gall to talk to me. Am I in the habit of wasting time by the roadside, chattering with passers-by? No! So, I've had to give up cultivating this part of my land. It's too close to the public road. And do they leave me in peace? Ha! They pursue me in scores to the hilltops. And there's another one now, at my front door, standing there!
Do you think he means to hit me?
Procy is such a precious commodity these days. You couldn't find it, even if you wanted a quiet place to hang yourself.
Oh, is it me he's angry with? If I might explain, my good sir, I'm waiting here for someone with whom I made an arrangement to rendezvous here.
I told you so. Do you think this is a public right-of-way or the marketplace? Here's my front door. Use it as a place to meet your friends. You could put a bench there, erect a summer house. Such effronteries! The agonies I must endure!
The agonies he has to endure? What about me? How can I ever hope to ask for his daughter's hand when it's all so complicated? I know. What if I get father's man Getters to help me? That might be the best plan. He's a large fellow, fiery, and used to dealing with awkward customers. He'll soon sort out this old grouch, and I need a quick solution. A day is a long time when love's at stake. But I can hear the door being opened. Someone is about to come out.
What a disaster! I don't know what I should do. The bucket we use for drawing up water, Nurse has managed to drop it down into the well.
Ye gods, she's so beautiful.
My father likes hot water to bathe in after he comes back from a hard day's labouring on the farm.
You have to agree she's breathtaking.
I dare to think what I'll do to poor Nurse if he gets back and finds it's not there ready for him. There's nothing for it. I'll have to go to the nymphs next door and get water from them. They might be in the middle of a religious service. It wouldn't be right to interrupt. What a quandary!
Let me go for you. I'll fill your jug and return with it immediately.
Oh, thank you. But please, do be as quick as you can.
She may be a country bumpkin's daughter, but she has a genteel air about her. Oh, lords, I'm beyond being rescued now.
Well, I'm young, female, and beautiful, from a respectable home. That means I'm supposed to be a dutiful daughter, modest, chaste, and innocent, not to be seen or heard outside my domestic sphere. That is, until my parents arrange a suitable marriage for me. Then I'm to become a dutiful, loving wife and mother, still not to be seen in public. Not much of a life, you're thinking. Never leaving home. Never going on a shopping spree or to the pub. No coffee bars, no disco dancing, and definitely no boyfriends. Pretty boring. How wrong can you be? For one engaged in the pursuit of knowledge, every phenomena, even the most mundane, can be food for the intellect, expanding the possibilities for endless speculation and debate. The capacity of the human mind to observe the world in which we find ourselves, and, moreover, to conjugate on our own ruminations, seems to me practically to be without limit. Yes, I'm studying philosophy. The nymphs who hang out at the shrine next door teach some rather good adult education classes. Strictly women only. We don't want any men distracting us while we educate ourselves. What's that? You're wondering about the dam who's gone to fetch the water? I wasn't lying. Nurse really did drop the bucket down the well, and he was hanging around, so I thought he might as well make himself useful. What's that? Marry him? Are you joking? Luckily, my parents are separated, and my father hates everyone but me, so I think I'll be able to avoid the arranged marriage bit. I can hear a noise. Someone's coming. I hope it's not my father. I'll be in for it if he catches me here. I was being deadly serious when I said good girls shouldn't be outside. And as for talking to strangers of the opposite sex, strictly against the rules. Oh, but it isn't my father. It's Deos, the servant man from next door. That's where my mother and brother live. Well, half-brother to be exact. I don't want them poking their noses in.
Don't ask me to do any more jobs around the house. I've done more than enough already. And there's your son, out trying to manage everything on the farm unaided. I'm off now to give him an hand. Poverty's no joke. I curse it. The hardship we have to bear. It's been with us more years than I remember. I wish it would just go away and give us all a break.
I've got it for you.
Could you bring it over here, please?
Who's this fellow? What's his game?
There. Well, goodbye, and have a care of your father. My heart aches. Pull yourself together. It will work out. Have faith. Oh,
It won't work out. Where does faith come into it?
calm down and take a rational approach. Follow your original plan. Get-getters, explain the problem to him.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it anyway. A strange young man doing a favour for a girl? Not at all the thing. It's the old man's fault, of course. Leaving an innocent girl alone, unprotected in this out-of-the-way place. Perhaps the words got round and this fellow hopes to exploit the situation. Thinks he'll try his luck. The girl needs protecting properly. I'll tell my master. He's her brother. He'll know what to do. Actually, I'll go do that now. No time like the present. I can see a rowdy procession coming down the road. And it looks as though they've had a few too many drinks. Not a good time to get mixed up with them.
Oh, what did I tell you? There's more of them coming now! Oh!
up of.
As soon as he got anywhere near the girl, you should have been there. Demanded to know who he was, what he thought he was doing, and warned him, in no uncertain terms, not to do it again. Instead, what do? You hang back as though it were none of your business. Well, she's still my sister, half-sister true, but that don't make me any less responsible for her welfare. And although my stepfather shuns us, that is no excuse for me to behave badly too. If my sister is disgraced, then, in the eyes of the world, so am I. I may not be to blame, but people don't know that. All they see is a girl in trouble and base their judgment on that. There's nothing for it. We'll have to go and have a few words.
Oh, do we have to, gorgeous? That old man's crazy. And if I go too close to his door, he's liable to lynch me.
He is a tricky customer. There's nothing going to change that. He's deaf to reason, advice, and persuasion. Perhaps he could be forced to change, but no one's going to do that without breaking the law.
Bit of a waste of time calling on him then.
Oh, look, there's that young fellow back here again. Do you mean the one in the expensive city outfit?
That's him, all right.
Or all wrong. Oh, I don't like the look in his eye. He's clearly a lecher.
I went home, but Gessis wasn't there. In fact, no one was. It seems Mother was off on another of her visits to a shrine to make offerings to one of the gods. I'm not sure which one. This has practically become a daily occurrence. Off she goes with a horde of devotees. They traipse here and there, all over the locality, sacrificing. Gessis has been roped in. She sent him off to hire a cook. Anyway, I'm happy to leave them all to it, and instead come back here to get things sorted out. I've decided to speak to the man myself, so I'd better knock on the door before my determination wavers.
Young gentleman, a word of advice, if I may.
Yes?
I am of the persuasion that young men of any station in life, rich and poor alike, will find, sooner or later, that their luck runs out. The benefits enjoyed by the well-off man will carry on only so long as he does no harm to anyone else. If, on the other hand, his wealth tempts him into wrongdoing, then woe betide him. The poor man, if in his plight can avoid unlawfulness and humbly accept his position in life, might find, conversely, that his lot will change for the better. To speak plainly, those who have an abundance of possessions would be wise not to place too much reliance on them, nor to look down on us, the have-nots. To continue enjoying good fortune, make sure you are seen to deserve it.
You think I'm in danger of transgression?
Oh, I think you've got in mind something truly outrageous. That is, to seduce an innocent young girl, a girl from a respectable family. You're planning something that should earn you the death penalty. More than the death penalty.
More than that? Oh, God help me!
Is it right that you, of personal leisure, should afflict those of us who have to work every hour of the day for subsistence? And remember this, the worker, when slighted, won't take it lying down. You'll find he's not one to argue with.
Yes. Do you think I could say something too?
I think that would only be fair, sir.
The thing is, you're making a supposition on limited information. I saw a girl. I fell in love. I plead guilty to that if it's a crime. But I haven't come to wrong her. I'm hoping to speak to her father, to tell him I'm a free man well provided for, and I want to marry her. I don't expect a dowry. I promise to love and cherish her forever. I swear, by Pan and the Nymphs, I mean no harm here, and I come here in good faith. If I'm lying, may they blast me down dead as I stand here. But I also want to say, if you have a bad opinion of me, then I'm rather hurt.
Well, perhaps I did come on a bit strong. Forget I said all those things, won't you? And besides, I'm only convinced, and I take your side. How's that? Oh, I should explain that I'm related to the girl. We share the same mother, so I've a right to say all that.
I see. Well, you might be able to help me then.
If I can help you, I will.
That's really kind of you.
I should explain though, and I don't want you to think that I'm trying to get out of it, but we need to be realistic. My stepfather is unique, in a class of his own.
You mean that bad-tempered old father of hers? Our paths have crossed.
Oh, the man is impossible. His farm could produce a good income if he ran it properly. But he insists on working it alone, won't employ any labourers, refuses offers of help from his neighbours. He don't want no one else. He takes great pleasure in avoiding other people, with the exception of his daughter, of course. He sometimes takes her to toil in the fields beside him, and he does talk to her. No one else can get a good word out of him. But as for giving up his daughter, only the man like himself will get her hand in marriage. That's what he says.
That will never happen then.
Don't distress yourself, my dear friend. It is a hopeless case, and the best left for me to deal with. It's a family matter. I have a duty.
God! Don't you know what it is to be in love?
We couldn't afford to be, dear friend.
I don't see what's to stop you.
Don't you? Let's just say the maths are unfavourable. When I add together all my misfortunes, there's not a lot of time left over.
Nonsense. You've clearly never been in love and haven't the faintest clue what you're talking about. Give up, you say? I can't. My passions are ruled by forces beyond my control. Give your advice to the gods.
Oh, it seems although you meant us no harm, we are the occasion of your suffering. But it's a waste of emotional energy.
If we could have the girl.
No chance. Although,
Yes?
I suppose you could come with me if you like, and try asking him while he's working in the field alongside mine. It'd be an outside chance, though.
Yes, but will he listen? How should we manage it?
I suppose I could mention something about the need to get my sister married off before it's too late and she gets left on the shelf and becomes an old maid. Oh, but then he'd start raging, saying that no one's good enough for her, they all live in their own way, and so on. He won't like the look of you, you realise. You're clearly one of the idle rich. Oh, I don't think this plan is going to work.
If he's there now.
Oh, he won't be there yet, but he'll be on his way soon, and he always comes in this direction.
And he'll bring the girl?
Who knows? Possibly.
Let's head off there now.
Not so fast.
Oh, come on. I need your help.
What do you think I can do?
Well then, as you say, we can go on ahead to the place you mentioned.
What? And you'll just hang about in your posh clothes whilst we toil away? Is that what you're proposing?
If you don't think that's a good idea, then.
I don't. Only if you want to begin by him using you for target practice. I'd see you as a good-for-nothing idle rich boy and let rip.
Oh,
I suppose there is one thing. You could join in our digging. He might just mistake you for one of us. If he thought you were an impoverished farmer, he might conceivably listen to what you have to say.
if you think that's a good idea.
I don't. Why put yourself to so much bother?
There's quite a lot of work to be getting on with, sir, and an extra pair of hands wouldn't go amiss. And with any luck, this pretty child will do his back in, and that's the last we'll see of him.
Do please give me a suitable implement.
A mattock.
Eh?
You can have this one here of mine, but mind you make a good job of it. Meanwhile, I'll be repairing the wall, another essential task.
Yes, do give it to me. It's going to bring my salvation.
I'll head off there now then, sir. You two can come along when you're ready.
This is the crunch point. I gain the girl and live, or die still trying for her.
Seems you're serious. Well, in that case, I wish you the best of a thing you luck.
Don't imagine you can dissuade me. The more you try, the more eager I am to get to work. A girl who hasn't been surrounded all her life by whining women and old biddies with their scare stories, but instead has been nurtured by a terrifying old father with a strict moral code that's ingrained. She's a worthy prize indeed. Oh, it weighs a ton. It will finish me off before I'm finished with it. No, Sostratus, you can't back out now. Put a brave face on it. You started, so you must finish the job. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Go.
Look at that. This must have taken some woman hours to make. And it's just been tossed on the floor. Yes, I did hear all that. I was in the house, but the window was open. My father is in there too, but luckily he is not in earshot. He's out the back, fixing the storeroom roof. He doesn't like leaky roofs. He says it might tempt a god to come inside and behave badly. If you don't get the gag, don't expect me to explain it to you. And what do you think of those two, talking about trying to win me? A prize, am I? Like in some raffle? It doesn't occur to them to ask me what I might want. And why am I always the girl? I do have a name, you know. My brother should know it at the very least. It's clear he's taken a shine to that rich boy from town. And he is good looking, I will admit. I'm not warming to him, but it's clear that Gorgias is. He's not really interested in women, prefers men. Don't tell me you're surprised by that. This is ancient Greece. Same-sex affairs are de rigueur. Well, in some contexts. Anyway, it looks like the two of them have gone off together to the top field, where the haystacks are. Although, if they're expecting father and me to show up, they're going to be disappointed. Oh. It looks like someone's coming down the road. 2 men. I've not seen them before. They're probably servants. One of them is dragging a reluctant sheep along. I'd better get inside before they reach here. Oh! Come on! Come on, you nasty animal!
This sheep is a charming creature. Blast it to hell! If I lift it up onto my shoulders and carry it, I'm struggling to disentangle it from the branches of the fig tree. It keeps squirming around and reaching after the leaves. Its favourite food, apparently. If I put it back down onto the ground, well, it digs its hooves in and won't budge. What we have here is a contradiction in terms. I'm the cook, but I'm being made to look sheepish by this conniving, woolly beast. We're there at last, thank heavens! The shrine of lips, where the sacrifice is to take place. And lemmings, your pleasure! No. Don't you start that teeth chattering routine. I know you're not sick. I've never seen such an ugly looking sheep, a perfect specimen to offer to the gods. Greetings to you, Pan! Look what I bought for you, and there's lots more besides. Gidges! Where have you got to? Get a move on! And you, sheep, don't even think about trying to escape.
Those women and their sacrificing. Look at what they expect me to carry for them. It's more than 4 donkeys have been prepared to take.
There don't seem to be a lot of ladies coming.
You've got enough stuff for an whole regiment. It's monstrous.
Don't know where I'm supposed to put all these rugs. Why can't they just sit on the ground?
You could leave them heaped up
Over there, perhaps.
What a relief. Oh, it's a pity my mistress doesn't suffer from insomnia.
You what?
All those prophetic dreams. She'll soon have another one featuring Pan, but it'll be about his shrine at Pioneer, which is a good 20 miles from here, and we'll all have to go over there for another sacrifice.
What do you mean? Prophetic dreams?
Well, I would have thought that was clear enough.
Sorry, who's been dreaming?
My mistress Clothy is.
What was the dream about?
So I really have to explain all of this to you again. All right. In her dream, the god
Pan, who lives in the shrine,
the same,
Go on then.
he'd seized hold of the young master.
You mean Sister Ross?
Good-looking boy, they say. Bit of a goer, I imagine.
And I clapped him in irons.
It sounds a bit perverted.
There was a leather gob that he had to put on, and he was given a pickaxe and made to dig in the field belonging to the people over there.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
Why do you think we've been making all these offerings? Heading off on all those religious pilgrimages I've been telling you about?
How should I know? I thought maybe your mistress was bored being at home all day long, stuck, and thought she might was looking for a few excuses to go on a few excursions. What do I know? I'm only the hired cook.
Yeah, you are. Well, for your information, the purpose of our visit here is to avert disaster, to ensure that the dream was not a portent of doom, but instead the prelude to a happy ever after scenario.
Well, I'm glad we've got that straight. Meanwhile, if you'd have the goodness to pick up the stuff you dumped there, which we're going to need inside, we can start preparations. Well, I don't want to keep the company kept hanging around. I'm determined to have a prompt commencement of this ceremony as soon as everyone arrives. There's no need to give me a shower look. I'll be making sure you stuff your face today. And as for you, you loathsome animal,
Hey, there's no need to get personal.
I was talking to the sheep. And sheep will taste delicious, roasted with rosemary.
Oh, my mouth's watering already. I can only admire a cook and his culinary arts. But I wouldn't trust one as far as I can throw.
Here we go. Press it. Off you go.
It's been a hard day's grind.
And the soil here is most unkind.
The sun's been beating down.
It feels hotter here than in town.
Wielding a pickaxe to break up the soil.
Certainly is backstraining toil.
Are the rewards for such hard labor?
Or does rudeness insults from the hand to the neighbor?
We swing our mattocks high.
And almost catch someone's eye.
Then we swing them low.
Look out for that person's toe. Hey ho, hey ho, hey nani nani no. Hey ho, it's up to the fields we go. And when the weary work day is done, will the farmer have some fun? Or will he just want to hit the hay and sleep till the morrow and another grueling day? Hey ho,
Until we are at the crack of dawn. Off to work on a right fine lawn, and we'll swing our mattocks high. Then we swing them low.
kind of like this. We're always on the go.
to the last syllable all the time. Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. I said, lock the door! Lock it! And keep it locked until I get back at nightfall! Don't let anyone in! Did you hear that, you useless old scarecrow? No? Go! What's going on now? Oh, God, women! I don't believe they make me feel sick. Oh, honey, no, Glenn! We're going to be late for the sacrifice! Daughters, they're almost as bad as sons. Anyway, as I was saying, I believe that one of Zeno's paradoxes might be resolved were we to invent a new kind of mathematics, one that reconceptualizes the terms in which the problem is presented. Then we can more clearly differentiate the limits of our understanding and integrate the partial and somewhat derivative elements of our various functions. A calculus might... Oh look, you arrived. Let's hear those bagpipes playing. This is not a god to be greeted in silence. Oh, there you are, Gettys!
Oh, madam, you've arrived at last. We've exhausted ourselves waiting for you.
So everything's prepared, man?
Yes, the sheep is certainly ready for its high jump over the celestial gate. Miserable beast.
Oh, good! Everyone inside! Water, baskets, offerings! We need the whole lot ready!
Oh, curse them! I can't go out and work with that lot around. I'll have to stay here and keep an eye on things here. Having those nymphs next door is a pain. I might have to demolish this house of mine and build a new one elsewhere. Ah, and the way they sacrifice. It's obscene. Huge baskets of provisions, vast quantities of wine, not for the god mind, but for their own consumption. All the god sees from their devotion is a bit of cake and some incense gets thrown on the fire, along with the leftovers, the inedible bits of meat. That's all the god gets from their devotion. All the other stuff vanishes down their own guts. Ah!
to. Fancy leaving me behind like that, just because I can't walk as fast as they do. And now I'm here, in the middle of nowhere, unchaperoned, a young lady like me. It's not at all proper. I could be rubbished or abducted. Fun chance in a dead and alive place like this. I don't know about you, but personally I find the countryside an awful bore. And now that Mother's taken to philosophy and mathematics and religious pilgrimages, we're seeing rather a lot of it. We're forever trekking out en masse to some shrine or other. I'd personally much rather stay at home, paint my face, explore my wardrobe, and get drunk like civilized women are meant to. Unfortunately, there are these women's-only festivals, and you men probably imagine it's all about wailing, lamenting, performing rituals, and cultivating plants. But actually, they're more like seminars and discussion groups, all of it intellectually intense. I mean, what's wrong with a bit of feminine empty-headedness? What's that? You want to know who I am? Surely you can work that out for yourself. I'm Vervain. No, not Clangon the Character's daughter. I'm Clangon the Stratus's sister. I agree. It's confusing. Not my fault. I didn't get to choose my own name. What's that noise? It's coming from that place. It looks like some sort of shrine. Oh!
Yeah, I get it. You've forgotten the cooking pot.
It wasn't my fault.
And you've been in the wine.
No, I haven't.
Well, what do you expect me to do about it?
Well, I can't go and knock. I'm a
All
woman.
right, I'll go and ask. Oh, there you are, miss. Yeah, they're all inside. Probably best you go in and join them. Though don't worry, they don't seem to have missed you. And you can rely on me to be discreet.
What does he imagine I've been doing?
Dear, oh dear. I don't know what any man could see in her. Her brother's certainly stolen all the good looks for the family. Now, what have I come out here for? Ah, yeah. Those dozy serving women my mistress employs. Worse than useless. I mean, you're visiting a shrine to make offerings to the god, and you forget the cooking pot, I ask you. And now, they turn to me, a man, to sort it out. Women. Well, there's only one thing for it. I shall have to trouble the people next door. Serves them right for living so close to the god. Women, girls, all they think about is sex. Hey, you're inside! They won't admit it, pretend to be all innocent and virtuous. Oh, and the lies they tell you if they're found out. Oi, you inside, open the door. I've knocked 3 times already. Oh, what a way to treat callers. Something not right about this place. No one at all home? It doesn't seem likely. At last I can hear someone coming. Running, fast. Well, so they should. It's rude to keep callers waiting on your doorstep. You want to catch leech to my front door. answer me that, you blood-sucking filth.
Just a civil call, no need to bite me head off.
Oh, yes, there is. Head and every bit of your body, bones and all, I'll chew up the lot.
Didn't realise we had cannibals in Greece.
Who's that clever one? Tell me this, scumbag. Is there some outstanding legal business that involves you and me?
Oh, have no fear. I'm not here with a summons or demand for repayment of a debt. I am simply here in search of a cooking pot.
A cooking pot?
Yes, a pot for cooking.
To hell with you! Cooking? Sacrificing? Do I look like I've got time for any of that? Like you and your rich layabouts over there.
Charming. I don't imagine the gods could get so much as a snail out of you. The women told me to knock and ask. Well, I have knocked and I've asked, and no pot forthcoming. What else am I supposed to do? Squeezing water from a stone would be easier than getting anything from that old curmudgeon. I'll go tell him.
Call me a cannibal, would he? He's the only man-eating monster around here. He comes and knocks, if you please, at my door. Knocks and knocks, as if he were an old acquaintance. What if we don't want to see anyone? Doesn't seem able to take a hint. I won't put up with any more of it. If another one of them comes, I'll sort him out. Make an example out of him. You'll see. Perhaps you think I was a bit soft on that fellow just now. Well, he should thank the gods he got off so lightly.
All you had to do was borrow a pot. So he was rude. Has no one ever given you an earful before? And did you ask him nicely? You're rather a close fellow, lacking a certain refinement. Well, if you don't mind me mentioning it, there's an art involved which not everyone has, all through no fault of their own, I hasten to add. It's my job, always cooking and catering. I do that for countless Athenian clients, and I have no problem calling in on their neighbours for this and that. You're insulty when you go on the scrange. If the door is answered by an old man, I say, "Excuse me, Pa," or "Hello, Pop." If a woman comes, I call her Mother or Mom if she's middle-aged. For a youngish manservant, I say, "Excuse me, my good fellow." Well, there's an etiquette to these things, and if you don't understand that, you might as well go away. What stupidity! Hey, you in there, open up the door! Bang, bang, bang! Is that the very best he could do? I shall say. Having the blood man, you are the very person I've been looking for.
Come back, would you? This is a deliberate act of harassment. What did I say about people coming to my door? Oh, you've asked for it now. Fetch me my whip. Do you hear me, woman? Let me go. What? Before I've had a chance to beat you senseless? I want my whip now. Oh, no, please don't.
Was this what you wanted, Master? Oh, it slipped out my hands.
Yeah.
told you, Gregory.
Oh, you still want to talk, eh?
All I'm asking for is an own and cooking pot.
I haven't got one! Nor cleaver, nor salt, nor vinegar, nothing! I have told everyone hereabouts to leave me alone!
You didn't tell me.
No. Well, I'm telling you now!
Yes, sir. That's very clear. But could I ask really, really nicely where am I find one? Well, a pot, that is.
Do you understand the word no? You do? Well, no! 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 No!
In that case, I'll bid you farewell.
I don't want any of your fancy farewells! I want you to get the hell out of here!
All right, I wish you to farewell then.
I'm not putting up with any more of this!
Oh dear. Did he give you an eye then? My eyesight's not as good anymore, so I couldn't see that much.
Actually, I managed to dodge him. Oh, but that's very nice. My shoulders got very sore carrying that damn shape along earlier.
I'm cynicky. That was my master laying into you just then.
Well, old woman, cynically, there are good ways and bad ways of asking for favour, but it doesn't seem to make much difference. I sensuous touch she is. Is she so old and screwy?
I heard that, young man. I'm not deaf, you know. I am a bit emaciated, though. I could certainly do with a nice cook to feed me up. Once I was in love with a cook when I was a young woman. He looked a bit like you.
Yes, well, I need to get going and I expect your morning back in your ass.
Don't worry, dear. I know I'm not much to look at nowadays. Once you would have had difficulty keeping your hands off me, but now you find me physically repellent. Life plays funny tricks on us all.
Oh, this is a singular neighbourhood. I still haven't got what I came for. Should I try another house? Get one over here, perhaps? No, I don't want to end up having another quarrel. Or even worse, being seduced by a grandma. Ugh. Best to make do with the things I've got already. I'll have a casserole dish. Ego, we'll have a casserole lamb. Oh, Caritas! Come here, you. Come here, you. What? Yeah. Oh, excellent holiday venue this. Finally, just the place for masochists. Come here and hunt for a miserable time. Oh, the agony. My back,
off into digging the soil. I worked flat out from the word go, eagerly swinging my pickaxe, driving it forcibly into the ground, hefting it up again, and back down like a real labourer. I did keep stopping, it's true, just to see if the old man might be coming with the girl. Then my joints started to complain. I noticed it first in the lumbar region, but as time went on, it moved higher and higher until my whole back seized up and became stiff and bent. No one came. The sun was beating down unmercifully. Gorgias was watching, so I carried on, up and down like a seesaw, giving it all I've got. Finally, he said they're unlikely to come now, so I asked him what we should do. Pack up now and come again tomorrow, was his reply. Oh. Anyway, by that time, Dales had arrived to take over the digging. So here I am, a war-wounded survivor, returning once more to this place. Drawn to it, you might say, by some irresistible force.
Now, where are you off, Jen? Go to hell. I've got one pair of hands, not 30. I have seen to the charcoal for the oven. I've fetched, cleaned, carried, cut up the offal, baked cakes, been at everyone's beck and call, all whilst being blinded by smoke. I'm shrieking worse than an animal.
Hey, get it!
Oh, snap now. Who wants me?
I do.
Who?
Use your eyes.
Oh, it's the young master. I think it's time to get back to the kitchen.
How do you come to be here, Getters?
Oh, we've been sacrificing to the gods here. But that's all done now, and we're just getting the meal ready.
Oh, so you're on one of Mother's pilgrimages. Is she around too?
Yes, your mother's been here for ages.
And Father?
Not yet, but we are expecting him soon. Will you come in?
I will, but first there's something I want to do. Actually, it's rather useful, the sacrifice here today. There are a couple of people I want to invite. A young man and his servant. If they join us in a ceremonial meal, it might induce them to help me with my own plans for marriage.
What's that you said? Inviting more people to our meal? Only 2. And why not 3? Or 3,000 for all that matter? I realised all along that I wouldn't be invited. Let the whole world come. A fine sheep has been sacrificed. What's that? Yeah, I know you all wanted the sheep to escape, and it wouldn't be the first time it's got away. However, Menander makes it quite clear. The sheep got its comeuppance. So sorry, its time was up. All right, let's not get carried away. Musicians are all vegans. Now, where was I? Here's me running around after a party of refined ladies, and could they spare me a morsel to taste? Not them. Not even a grain of salt.
Cheer up, Getters. Today everything's going to turn out fine. I predict that. I'll just go see where my guests have got to. And Pan, I always pray to you as I go past your shrine. To you, dear God, I swear, I will be generous.
Generosity? Don't see much of that coming my way.
Oh, wow, and thrice times wow!
What now? Oh, it's that old bat who works for the old sod next door.
What dreadful state is in store for
any like you.
And it broke!
I'm glad to hear it.
So now, both the shovel and the bucket are at the bottom of the well!
Why don't you go and join them?
And there's more.
Oh, a whole catalogue of miseries, it seems.
Master wanted to shift some dung in the yard, so he's been charging around looking for his shovel and shouting. I can hear the door. He's coming now.
Best run for it, old misery, or we'll throw you. Either that or you could stay and stand up to him, showing your muscles.
Some men are not very pleasant.
Where's that good-for-nothing hag?
I didn't mean to, Master. Things just slip out my hands sometimes.
I'll see to you. Inside!
Oh, what are you going to do to me?
I'm going to tie a rope around you and let you down into the well.
Oh no, not that! I'm terrified of heights!
I know! And I'm going to use that same bit of rope.
Just the thing too, if it's really that weak and rotten.
Oh, Deus! Deus! Come quickly!
Shout for Deus, would you? I'd rather face utter ruin than have anyone from that household set foot across my threshold. You know that, so now get inside. Move! Being alone with no one to help is a heartache. Yes, it really is like an ache. Strange. There's no way out of it. I'll have to go down into the well myself.
Dear, dear, I almost feel sorry for the miserable old git. Oh, Grandad, I've got a rope and a grapple you can use.
I'd rather see you in hell!
Suppose I asked for that. There he goes, rushing back into his house. He doesn't have much fun in his life, does he? A typical attic farmer battling away against a stony soil, trying to grow a bit of thyme and sage. A lot of pain for very little return. Oh, but there comes the young master with the people he's invited. But they're just local farm labourers. How strange. Why bring them along, and how did he come to meet them in the first place?
Can't refuse an invitation to the sacrificial feast of a friend, because we are friends from way back. We were before I met you, before I knew of your existence. Deus can take your farm implements back to your house, and then come and join us too.
Look, there's my mother. I don't want her left alone in the house with all these goings on. Dales, you stay with her. Get her whatever she needs. I'll be back soon.
How can you be friends with someone before you know of their existence? Oh, this family, more money than sense. Oh, what should I do now? Go back inside and see if someone will deign to give me an grub, or... But, who are all these people heading this way? Not more guests, surely. I better go back inside and grab what I can while there's still something left.
Ding dong bell, that's the early roundabout. Whose fault is that? It's certainly not the cat. First it was the bucket, and then it was the shovel. The master doesn't like it.
It causes a kerfuffle.
It's really not his day today. In fact, it never
No, not you again.
It's the master!
Ye gods, can't you just let us go on with our emotions? We're insulted, we're attacked. Yours is a strange air soul. You're all mad.
Master's in the well!
What?
He was trying to fish out the bucket and shovel, but he slept and fell in.
Oh, misery cats.
Fallen in the well!
Sounds bloody well right. Well, it's up to you now to sort him out.
Me?
What you want is something heavy, like a mortar or a large rock. And then you drop it down on top of him.
Can't you go down there and help him?
What, like the man in the story who went down the well to help a dog who got bitten for his pants? You must be joking.
Oh dear! We need Gorgius! Gorgius! Gorgius!
Becky, I'm here. Whatever is the matter?
The master! He told me never to come and ask for your help, but I don't know what else to do. He's fallen down the well!
Will you come to him, Sister Iris?
Do go on, but hurry!
Oh, joy! The gods really do exist. Wouldn't lend us a cooking pot for our religious sacrifices, would you? Miserable old atheist that you are. While you're down there, drink your well dry. That way, you won't have to share it with anyone else. Oh, nymphs, you've given me my revenge, as is only right. No one's like to cook and gets away with it. Ours is a divine calling. Waiters, however, are a different breed. You can treat them any way you like. What was that? Was he dead?
Father! My dear, dear father!
That's the girl. Well, I suppose she would have to love her father even though he's a brute. How must be the old Biddy? She's got powerful parallels on her tiny, puny body.
Quick, let's get him dry and find him some fresh clothes. It's all right, Father. You're safe now.
Soaking wet, teeth chattering. Oh, he must be a beautiful sight. I'd love to see that. Oh, what we need is more offerings called and prayers. The rescue was a botched job, but the old man permanently out of action. Well, that will certainly make things easier for the God, his worshippers, and also for me, if I get hired for another job around here. By all the gods of heaven and earth, what exquisite timing for a man to almost drown himself. The whole episode was one of sheer pleasure for me. You should have seen Gorgias waste no time leaping down into the well, while the girl and I stood watching from the top, doing absolutely nothing. Well, what could we have done anyway? Besides, she was weeping, tearing her hair, beating her breasts as you'd expect.
No, I wasn't. I am not the sort of person to indulge in hysterics, while my brother is risking his life extricating my elderly father from a well.
And I hovered around like a ninny, looking pathetic, no doubt.
That's true. And he did.
I was pleading with her not to distress herself, offering words of comfort, and all the while staring at that wondrous vision before me.
Not the best time to have someone drooling all over you.
I wasn't in the least bothered about the victim down the well, except when I was expected to help in the rescue, hauling him up on a rope. That put me out a bit.
He was useless. Worse than and useless. It's a shame my brother didn't call for Deos.
And there might have been a fatal accident, because I kept gazing into the girl's eyes and the rope slipped out of my hand several times. But Gorgias was all rippling muscle, with the strength of Atlas holding up the world. He clung on, even when I'd failed them, and he finally, with great exertion, pulled the old man out. At that point, I had to come rushing out before I disgraced myself by throwing my arms round the girl and kissing her. Oh, I'm so desperately in love, but I need to go about things the proper way. Besides, the old man was a bit of a mess, and they were about to remove all his clothes. I didn't fancy hanging around for that.
Neither did I. I thought I'd leave all that to my brother and Silicon. I expect they'll have him dressed by now. Oh, I can hear the door. They're wheeling him out on his couch now.
Oh, God, just look at her.
Nemon, if there's anything I can do for you, just ask.
I don't feel so good.
Put on a brave face.
This is my brave face. Oh, but you needn't worry. Nemon won't be bothering you ever again.
Yes, and this near tragedy came from living like a recluse. You could have died. At your age, you need to be in a place where people can care for you more.
Yes, Gorgias. I want to see your mother. Call for her for me.
Of course. It takes a disaster to reveal a simple truth.
My dear girl, help me to sit up.
He has his arm round her, lucky man.
What business have you to be loitering around here, fellow?
Oh, that is...
Clear off! Go on!
This is terrible. I've always been afraid something like this might happen.
Oh, nag. That's all you ever did.
I thought you wanted to see me.
Well, I might have changed my mind.
I'll go away again, shall I?
What? An abandoned old invalid?
Sir!
No, I do want to see you. Come, take my hand. Oh, there. That's better.
Oh, you really don't look well. You should come and stay at our house for a while until you've recovered. Oh, we can look after you better there.
Who says I'm going to recover?
Father!
Death is a welcome friend when life accords not with a man's desires.
How true. You must put these morbid thoughts into
You're not going to change my views on that, any of you, so you'd better just accept the fact.
As someone at death's door, he's certainly in remarkable voice.
I might admit to one mistake. In supposing I could be different, could be completely self-sufficient, requiring no one's assistance. But now I see that death can come suddenly, when least expected. So I realize I was wrong about that. It is imperative to have people around you who can offer a helping hand when needed.
You're seeing sense at last.
But don't you understand, woman? How could I have faith in human nature and relationships when everyone seems so calculating, just out to make a profit? That has been my stumbling block all along. But a single act of disinterested kindness has changed all that.
I'm really glad to hear it.
Gorgeous! That noble and courageous son of yours, acting all by himself, has been my path to enlightenment.
He has a wonderful boy.
Mother, please.
I, who never welcomed him to my door or helped him in any way, wished them good morning, or even gave them a polite word.
You were very rude.
Stop interrupting me! I haven't finished speaking.
He's certainly got plenty to say.
Where was I? That is. This fellow, this paragon, saved my life. A lesser man might quite justifiably have said, well, you've always kept me at a distance. Why should I come to you now? And you've never done anything for me. Why should I help you out? What's the matter, young man? Being civil to you now, aren't I?
Doesn't he witter on? I'm not sure I fancy having such a voluble father-in-law.
Perhaps you should rest now.
Don't fuss, woman! I'm getting to the important bit. The thing is, whether I am about to die, which, given the way I feel, seems highly probable, or if I continue to live for a bit longer, consider yourself my adoptive son, Gorgeous, and treat all my possessions as your own. Act as a guardian to my daughter here. Find her a husband. That's not something I could ever do, even if I were to recover. I'd never be satisfied that anyone was good enough for her.
But I don't want to get married, especially not to someone that Gorgeous chooses.
Oh, Nema, my dear.
Yes, don't fuss. If I do recover, let me live in my own way. But Gorgeous, take over the running of everything else. You've got a bit of sense about you. Thank the gods. You're the obvious one to protect your sister. Divide my property. Half can act as a dowry for her. The rest can provide for her mother and me. Help me to lie down again, girl. One should never speak more than is strictly necessary. Although, I do want you to understand how I come to be the way I am. You see, if everyone acted like me, there would be no need for putting people in prisons, for law courts, no wars even. Everyone would have enough for a modest but sufficient lifestyle. But I suppose you don't like things like that. You like things the way they are. Well, carry on living like that. This grouchy old man's not going to stop you.
Oh, I'll fetch you some water.
I come with you.
Luckily, Gorgeous managed to retrieve the bucket when he was rescuing Father.
A boy any mother would be proud of.
Yes, although it did make rescuing Father a little complicated.
She's going. Oh, me. That's good, as far as it goes. And I consent. But I need your help to find my sister a husband as quickly as possible. If you're happy with that.
Happy? Ha! I told you what I want. Now leave me to rest in peace.
There's someone here who wants to speak to you.
No, God, no!
He wants to marry your daughter.
It's no longer up to me.
He helped rescue you from the well.
Who?
He's there.
Come closer, let me look at you. He's got quite a suntan. Farmer, is he?
Oh yes, he's all correct. Not the sort to idle away his days wandering around doing nothing in particular.
He has a vague, girlish look about him. Were you here earlier wanting to borrow a pan?
No, I wasn't.
I have people to do that sort of thing for me.
It must have been someone else. Oh, where are those dumb women? I thought they were fishes of water.
Do you give your consent?
Yes, yes. Just wheel me back inside.
Does that mean you can betroth me to your sister?
Hadn't you better ask your father, see what he thinks about all this?
Oh, he won't raise any objections. You haven't met my father, have you?
Not likely. I can't imagine we move in the same circles.
That's no problem. He's terribly easygoing, happy to be friends with everyone, even those who are well down on the social scale.
Eh? Oh, well, good. Well, in sight of the gods, I betroth you to my sister. Now, that's all done according to form. I have to say, you have been open and honest all along, even willing to undergo labor to get the girl. You live a life of ease, and yet you slung a mark, sweated, toiled, and willingly became a worker.
Oh, Lord, it's true. Whatever got into me?
You can only tell the true character of a man, his worthiness, if, despite all his personal privileges, he is willing to join the poor man in a fellowship of equals.
Yes, well, I do rather hope to improve, perhaps, but I shouldn't blow my own trumpet. That would be a bit of a bore. Oh, look, there's my father on his way. What a relief.
But that's Callicles. You mean to say that he is your father?
Yes, rather.
But he's got heaps of cash.
Which he deserves. He's a very good farmer.
It's not what I've heard. He's all circus smiles, a wheeling-dealing politician.
I dare say I've missed the lunch. The sheep's been eaten, and everyone's returned to the farmstead long since.
He sounds hungry. Should we tell him now?
Eh? Oh, no, let him eat first. It'll put him in a better mood.
Ah, Stratus, my boy. Lunch over, is it?
Just about, but we're saving some for you. Won't you go in?
I'm there ahead of you.
You could go in and talk to him now, man to man. What do you think?
You'll wait outside, will you?
I'll be in this house over here. Don't worry. I won't be going off anywhere.
Oh, all right then. I'll speak to him. And I'll be back soon to call on you.
Everybody needs somebody. A special someone to love. And when he saw you, he somehow knew you'd been sent by the gods above.
Hey, mister, I want to marry your sister.
And I just want to be with you.
But mister, I adore your sister.
And I feel the same about you. Shall I compare me to one? Slender shoot. Dear bridegroom, but he's mute. His tongue is frozen and body a tremble. Would he could speak loud and not dissemble.
Hey, mister, I want to marry your sister.
And I just want to be with you.
But mister, I adore your sister.
And I feel the same about you.
Of winds in the mountains, the salts and oak.
That's how it was when we saw that look. There was Eros with his purple coat, laying out the hearts, a simple coat.
The love that dares not speak its name. Although in ancient times, it was I haven't refused you. I never refuse you, do I? As I said, marry the girl you love. In fact, I insist on it.
That's not what I mean, though, is it?
Well, it should be. The success of a marriage is greatly assisted, I know, when love prompts a young man into it.
So, if I can marry Gorgias's sister without her family bringing disgrace on ours, why can't he marry my sister Plangon?
To speak plainly, the acquisition of one needy relative is quite enough. Two would be odious.
Money. That's what you're talking about. An unreliable entity. Listen, Father. If you can be certain you can hang on to it forever, then keep it close and never share it with anyone. But in this uncertain world, fortune might step in and take it all away from you and give it to another who may be less deserving.
And your point?
My point being, while you have it in your hands, be generous. Help everyone, benefiting as many as you can. This is a precept that never dies, because if misfortune should befall you, then by your actions you will benefit in turn. What use is wealth if it is buried away in some secret place? A true friend is worth infinitely more.
In other words, a sort of insurance policy. Oh, Sir Stratus, you know how it is. I've made a fair amount of money, and I don't intend to take it with me to the grave. Nothing to gain in that. It's all yours. You've clearly made a friend, and you want to keep her. If money and marriage will help with that, then go ahead with my blessing. Give it away, share it, whatever, but no more sermons. You've convinced me.
And you're happy about it?
All serene. Put your mind at rest.
I'll go get Gorgias then.
Yes, do that. It's good to see the money I spent getting him tutored in rhetoric hasn't gone to waste then. Not sure why he wants to throw himself away on this country girl, though. Still, his mother did originate from peasant stock, and look at her now, quite the grand lady, well in with all the influential families in these parts. Can't imagine what I'd do without her.
I heard everything you said to your father back then. I was in the doorway, about to come out. The thing is, and I say this to you as a good friend, and I'm very fond of you, which I think you must know. It's just, I couldn't go through with it. It would all be too much, not something I could take on.
What are you talking about?
You can marry my sister, but I can't marry yours.
You're turning her down?
I can't live indolently through somebody else's labours. What I have, I earn for myself.
That's ridiculous. I suppose you think you're not her equal?
I am every bit equal. It just wouldn't be right to receive so much and give so little.
May I join you? I couldn't help overhearing all that. You're a fine young man, poor but proud, which is honourable.
Oh, well,
But showing a certain disrespect towards the gods, if I might presume to point it out.
I am very respectful of the gods, especially Pan, whose shrine you've been visiting today.
Of course, and I wouldn't doubt that for a moment. But now the god is smiling on you and on your family. They at least expect more than you alone can hope to give them. And not because you shirk in your labours. Not at all. You all work very hard, that's clear enough. But the soil here is unyielding. Are you so titled as to be wholly resistant yourself? There is a sort of hubris that makes a man indulge in self-misery. I'm sure you know the sort of person I'm talking about.
I do, yes.
Well then, and of course, to accept this gift of fortune doesn't necessarily mean abandoning yourself to a soft life of luxury. There is a middle ground. Won't you let persuasion sway you, as it did me?
I can see what you're saying makes sense. And I would be a fool twice times over if I threw this back in fortune's face. To be poor and that stupid would be to ask for even more trouble.
I knew Father would persuade him. He's awfully good at that sort of thing. Now all we need is a formal engagement.
Well then, I hereby betroth my daughter to you for the procreation of legitimate children, and I give her with a dowry of 3 talents.
Which isn't a bad sum of money.
I have 1 talent as dowry for my sister.
Which, as a proportion of his income, is rather a lot.
I'm not sure how you can afford all that.
My farm.
No, don't part with any of that. Go, find and fetch your sister and mother. Bring them here to the shrine to meet with our womenfolk.
I will.
We'll have a party here tonight, and then we will have the weddings tomorrow. Oh, and bring your stepfather with you, Gorgias. It'll be better for him if he's here with us.
He won't come, Sistratus.
Try the power of persuasion.
Okay, I will.
We'll have a fine party now. The wine will flow and the ladies will be up all night too.
On the contrary, it's the ladies who will do the drinking and us men will be up all night. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, isn't it awful when one's parents start talking smut?
I'll go inside, make sure everything is made ready.
That's good. All this goes to show that a wise man never entirely despairs about anything. Focus and application. That's all you need to win your prize. I'm the living proof. In just one day, I achieved a marriage that everyone believed was impossible.
Come on, hurry! Slow down, dear. I get easily out of breath, as you know.
Mother, we've got some more guests here for you. Do go in, ladies. What about Lemon?
He wouldn't budge. Even begged me to bring Simoki so he could be completely on his own, in peace and quiet.
You can't hope to change someone like that.
It's just the way he is.
So let's forget him and go in ourselves.
It's the Stratus. All those women. I feel shy.
No need. We're all family together now, aren't we?
I will go, if that's what you want, to lie there all on your own. More's the pity. They wanted to take you to the shrine, but no, you wouldn't go. I dare say something awful will happen to you. It could be worse than what you're suffering now. So I'll bid you farewell.
Oh, I was just going to see how he was. Don't pipe at me, you. I've no time for that. I've been told to come out here and visit the sick. I said pipe down.
Well, one of you people can go and sit with him. I want to talk to the young mistress. There's things need explaining about her wedding night so it doesn't all come as a big shock.
Big or small, I'm sure she knows more about it than you think.
No, she doesn't. She's an innocent girl. This is all she knows. And now I'll have to say goodbye to her as well.
go in then. Leave Grandad to me. I will see to him while you're gone. Are you still here? Clear off! What have they put in that wine? Well, now why have we ended up here outside that misery guts place? You've given me an idea, you piping pipsqueak. Sweet revenge. I've been thinking about it, making plans, but I couldn't find a way to bring them to fruition. Well, now you can take your confounded pipes and... Oh, it's vanished.
Oh, I need a break. A few minutes respite from those vultures in there and their incessant ding.
Hey, you, cook, sitcom. You've arrived at exactly the right moment. Come over here. We're going to play a game.
You addressing me?
Yeah, you. I'm sure you've wanted to pay someone back for the loss of dignity you suffered at his hand.
What the hell are you talking about?
The miserable old bugger's asleep in there, and they've left him all on his own.
Is he in a bad way?
Not too bad.
Could he get up and out? Thump us.
I don't think he can even stand up, not unsupported at any rate.
In that case, I'll go in and wake him up. Ask him if I can borrow something. Hey, in the roof!
Yeah, even better. We'll bring him out here first. And then I'll keep knocking on his door and asking for things.
Yeah.
That'll really annoy him. This'll be great fun, won't it?
What about Grouch? Well, I'm scared he'll catch us at it and give us a thrashing.
Nah, there's so much noise in there, he won't hear a thing. And anyway, they're all too busy boozing to notice.
Yeah.
And another thing, we must civilise him, this fellow. It's our duty. He's family. Related by marriage. Must we put up with him this way forevermore? Better sort him out now and make everyone's life a lot easier in the long run.
Well, you mean yours? I'm only the island cook.
That's true.
Oh. All right then, let's do it. Just make sure no one sees you bringing him out, yeah?
We'll go in together. You lead the way.
Yeah, you bat. You better stay close. I don't want you doing a disappearing act on me. Let's go then.
Hey! Oh!
Not so much noise, you clumsy oaf. We'll creep up on him and bring him out while he's still sleeping, yeah? Shh. Oh, Silicky, the noise and the heat in there. I couldn't have stood it a moment longer.
Me neither, although it wasn't so much the noise, because I'm a bit deaf, nor the heat, because I do a lot of cooking myself. But I didn't like those snooty ladies looking down their noses at us.
Yes, for all their airs and graces, they seem a very uncouth, loud-mouthed bunch.
And the money they got to waste. Did you see all those expensive carpets draped about everywhere? Some of them on the floor where they get soiled. Sheer wickedness.
I don't know what's happened to my daughter. She slipped off somewhere soon after we arrived. Gorgias and that horrible rich boyfriend of his was looking for her. She was nowhere to be seen.
Well, I think she found herself another philosophically minded young lady. And the last I saw, they were tucked away in a dark corner of the ladies' room, in deep discussion on the meaning of life and so on.
Nothing too serious then. Oh dear, I feel in a flutter. All these goings on. My heart isn't what it used to be.
Shall we go into your house so you can rest?
No, Deus has found some wine and got himself drunk. We won't get any peace there. Oh dear.
Come and sit over here in this spot. It's a quiet place, Maroon. Don't worry. I'll look after you.
Oh, this way. No, over here.
This'll do!
No, over to the right. Oh. That's it. And now for the big awakening. Oh, you're back. Want to join in, do ya?
I'll start then. You keep in charm with me, alright? Pretty boys, come out to play. It's party time all dreadful day. Get out, there's no time to sleep, because you're here with your pipe and I'm in the street. No! Murder! Oh. Hey now, boys, home and girls, dodging a ring. No.
I died. And I'm in hell. Oh, look. There's a person climbing up the street. So there is. How strange.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to be from this house over here by any chance?
Where else? What are you going about?
Sin as you was, a cooking pots, a basins,
Someone help me get out.
I know you've got what I want. 7 wine tables and 12 ordinary ones. Pass the message on to the staff inside and beat about it.
I haven't any.
Sit on and got to the cook and stir on and got any.
I haven't. I keep telling you so.
In that case, oh, John, let me speak to you. I'll be off.
What's going on? Who brought me out here? Oh.
It's your go.
Right, hello, all those within, especially the porter. I'm tired of so everything. I need to drink the water. Are you crazy? You'll smash the door down. I'll take my new 9 rugs. I'm a poor man. How can I possess something like that?
And bring out the exotic tapestries, the 100-footers.
Oh, I need my whip! Siggy! Oh, where is that scrawny old crow when I need her? That to hell with the lot of you! Oh, it's you again. What now?
A large bronze bowl to mix wine in.
Get out, someone!
Tapestry, did-daddy.
I've not got that! You're the bowl! No! Murder Simicky!
Just sit still. Shut your gob, and I'll tell you some untruths. You won't be sociable. You're a misanthrope. And you won't let us take you to join the party in the shrine. So, this is your reward, and you'll just have to put up with it. Because there's no one here to help you.
I want to go to the rescue, but I feel as though some supernatural force is holding me back.
I feel the same way. And he did say he was gonna murder me, and that's also a disincentive.
So now, I'm going to tell you of the delights you've been missing. Imagine the scene.
Your lovely daughter. And why?
Not quite so lovely.
Hurrah! And meet the other ladies. Oh, lots of kissy and affectionate embracing. Happy, such a pretty sight. Meanwhile, there's me, fairly close by, arranging the drinks for the men. Judge you! Go to sleep! No, that is not allowed! Oh no! I'm taking you to the party in your imagination. There we are, lots of excitement and lots of scurrying hither and thither. Oh! And there I am now, setting up the couches, laying the tables as the cock should. Well, that's my job, bringing that
Hey, he's flagging!
And then a hoary vintage wine in dimpled urn, handicapped, and mixed it was with naiad springs. Then landed pledged the men all round. Another pledged the fairest sex. The sand itself is soon a quench, and made rings up she drank too much. Her face was shrouded, seeming fair. She starts to dance a little shy. Her friend comes now and takes her hand. They find the rhythm, hips are swaying. Don't you wish that you'd been there?
Do you see what you've been missing? You injured old misery. Some accident, wasn't it? Well, now you've got to get up and dance.
Oh, what now, you terrible pests!
There you are. We're helping you stand on your own 2 feet, but you're so clumsy.
Oh, don't!
Oh, in that case, we better take you into the party.
What am I going to do?
Dance!
All right, take me in. Better the torture in there than out here.
There you go, you've seen sense. With one! I'll call for Donax and Syros to help lift him and take him in.
Donax and Syros? Who are they? Have I been missing something? Of course, I am only the ideal cook.
Yeah, you are. How could I forget that? They are our 2 serving lads, you numbskull. And one more word to you, old misery. You better watch your step from now on. No more causing trouble, or we won't let you off so easy in the future.
Yeah. Boy. Here we Well, really?
Who's that? It's the wife of the old Biddy. Quick, stop her!
Oh! Did you find that amusing? An old man being tormented by a couple of lamps? And a crippled old man, moreover?
But they did get him back on his feet, Marie. In fact, he's made an almost miraculous recovery. The dancing was rather good too, I saw. There was something magical about the piping that made me want to get up and dance myself.
Well, great. Wedding time! We can't have a wedding without the girls. Why not? We could just marry each other. But really, this is too much.
Someone can marry me!
Quick, fetch the girls! They're here.
dear child, why don't you want to marry this man? He's very muscular and fit, not bad looking. He's upright, good-natured. He's a farmer. So am I.
No, you're not. Well, not in the same way. Well, he gets dirty and sweats. Anyway, I want to marry someone else. Charius.
Who's Charius?
You know Charius, Father. Well, he's a friend of Sistratus.
Never heard of the fellow. Anyone know who she's talking about?
You should all know. Haven't you been paying any attention? He's the one that came on right after Pan's introduction at the beginning of the play. Oh, him! But he's an idle, good-for-nothing hanger-on who scrounges from the well-to-do. In other words, a social parasite. I know. That's what I like about him. Surely he can't love you. He loves the fact that I'm an heiress.
What about you, dear child? Might I inquire as to your reasons? Is it an aversion to my son or to marriage in general?
I have no desire to get married at all. But since you asked, I find your son particularly obnoxious.
My daughter finds your son obnoxious. So do I. In fact, I feel the same way about your own family. I've heard a lot of criticism today about Menander, my ex-husband. He can be difficult, it's true. I know that better than most. But he's worth his weight in gold compared with the likes of you. He's honest, with firm principles, doesn't go meddling and interfering in the affairs of others. He's a man of the earth, a worker. You, on the other hand, are a bunch of loud, uncouth idlers with more money than is decent. And the behavior of your servants is an outrage. If Menander wants to be alone, why shouldn't he be? Why should he have to put up with hordes of society talking jays trampling over his crops? There's a lot to be said for peace and quiet. I think I can speak for the both of us and say we don't want any connection with you or your family.
Don't worry on my account. I'll go and take sanctuary with the nymphs and become a virgin priestess.
No, Father, can't you persuade her? She's breaking my heart.
I didn't know you had one.
Oh.
Yes, it's me again, Pan. Oh dear, what a mess we've gotten ourselves into. I can see it's up to me to have to sort things out. So we can all stop cowering and listen to what I have to say. Firstly, gorgeous and planned. Not an ideal match, but probably the best you'll do in the circumstances. You could marry Charius Clangon, but you'll very soon find yourself poor. You'll quickly spend all your money and then be off after another rich girl. At least with Gorgias, you know he won't be eyeing up other women. Secondly, Sistratus and this dear, sweet girl here. My dear, as much as I would love for you to stay with me and the nymphs here in this shrine, it is not to be. I have made a promise to some Olympians and they wouldn't take too kindly if I went back on my word. You see, this is a match made in heaven, which is why I cast a spell on this youth as he came by on a hunting trip.
You are clever and highly cerebral for a farmer's daughter, for anyone's daughter for that matter. It seems your mother-in-law-to-be is somewhat of a mathematical genius, and some of that is passed down to Sostratus here. But he needs help to work more diligently at his studies. Are you interested in mathematics?
I would be if I found a good teacher, and I do have a name.
Then your mother-in-law can tutor you both. I envisage happy evenings together gathered around the abacus. Oh, and the children you produce will become some of the brightest intellectuals the ancient world has known. And if you don't find me physically attractive, my dear, just lie back and think of Athens. Oh, cheer up, everybody! It's celebration time! Get the garlands and torches! Come on, you're looking as grumpy as old Menander here! It's time to dance, everyone! The nymphs are going to sing!
Raise torches now and keep them burning. All's resolved and ends the learning.
A lovesick youth and lass so lonely are joined today in matrimony.
And her brother, working all his life, has been given wealth with his new wife.
Both bridegrooms' hearts are full of love to a match is made in heaven above. And fellows could not but be gay in such a jocund company.
Sing birds and flowers in wild elation, all creatures dance in celebration.
And country folk from far and wide went hitherfore to greet each bride.
Nymphs and shepherds come away to join us on our wedding day.
All praise for the piper who makes our world to be.
All praise for great God Pan. He's here as you can see.
Pan loves a bit of drama, especially a play.
About a bad-tempered farmer.
Which is what we've shown today. But that's enough.
We need some wine. So we'll stop as usual
And form a line.
If you've all enjoyed the fun we've had with this old malcontent, then give us your applause, youths, boys, and men.
Not to mention all you girls and ladies of various ages who are also in our audience.
And me nugal victory.
That laughter-loving virgin be forever on our side.
But remember this, you're mortals. If you think you have any real choices, you're deluding yourselves. Your fate is in the lap of us gods. What a joke, eh?